Hey guys, Paul James here, and as you go through the next module, you're going to learn a bunch of different ways to get clients. That being said, a lot of ways to get clients that involve paid advertising obviously cost money. And money is something, if you're brand new starting off, something that you're probably short on. So my recommendation to you, based on interviewing countless number of students who've been successful with this, is they all followed my guidance, which was go out and either do a lead gen listing, which you can learn more about in the beginning module, or B, work with a client who you can work with either for free or free initially until you get some results and charge them later. And the most important thing that you want to get out of working for that client for free is one, you're going to build up the confidence so that you know what you're doing. Number two, you're going to have a case study. And three is you need to get some referrals out of them. Most of the time, they give them willingly. If you watch the 4 interviews that we did, I would encourage you to check those out, by the way. They're really, really great, and they're definitely worth spending the time watching. But if you watch the 4 interviews we did, I think almost every single person in those interviews, and they're doing substantially well. They're doing full-time marketing income. I think all of them 6 figures. But what they're doing and how they got started was they followed my advice at the beginning, and they started doing work on one person for free, okay, initially. And they got referrals. They got tons of referrals from it, and it jump started their business. So I hope that you'll follow my guidance on that as well. It's the greatest way to get started. If you don't do that, do the lead gen route. It's the greatest way to get started. It's the greatest way to build confidence and get results. And you'll get referrals. Word of mouth is the easiest way. So go through these other modules knowing that, and maybe set up like a free marketing analysis funnel with your business card, and you can hand that out to people as you talk to people. I remember when I was first starting off, I would go into like the dentist and stuff, and they would ask me what I do and stuff like that. And opportunities like that are a perfect time to hand out one of these cards that say, yeah, by the way, I do free marketing analysis. Go here and fill out the form and we can connect. So anyways, take it for what it is. But that's my input on it. And as someone who's been successful and someone who's interviewed a lot of people who are successful, that's the common trend that I'm seeing. And that's the same trend that I followed too. So good luck with everything, and have fun with this, because it is a really fun business, and there's going to be some hurdles that you'll have to overcome. But when you do, you're going to come out on the other side and be really happy that you stuck with it and you took my advice. All right, guys, so this is a pretty unique strategy. This has to do with funnels again. And the unique part about this funnel is that we're using a key component in what we're doing with maps to actually hook them into signing up for maps. So let me explain what I mean by that. What we're doing is we're offering to set up call tracking for the prospect for free. And what we want them to do is we want them to rent the number from us and then charge them on a per minute basis. So rent it for like $5 a month and then charge them on a per minute basis, maybe 5 cents a minute or something like that. If you're using analytic call tracking, you're paying way, way, way less than that. So you'll actually make profit just on that alone. But that's really not the idea. The idea is to get your foot in the door. And call tracking is a good hook to get your foot in the door. So basically, what you do is you can either prospect via email or call people, or just, talk to people and offer to set up call tracking for them, and basically explain it in a way where, hey, you don't know where your marketing money is going right now. You could be getting tons of leads from your business card, and maybe you're not getting any leads with the money you're paying Yellow Pages right now. Wouldn't you like to know what you are getting, what kind of ROI you're getting, right? You should have tracking numbers set up. So basically, I've got a done for you funnel you can plug in, and you can send people to that page. If you want to make business cards, you can make business cards with a link to the funnel and send them there. Make business cards that say free call tracking or free tracking. That's a good strategy. You can send them there via Facebook ads, via Craigslist, via LinkedIn, via email, however you want to do it. But I'll have a link below this video to the funnel. Now, I did a video on here, and I'm going to give you a link to the PowerPoint presentation I highly encourage you to use a PowerPoint presentation and replace your voice in it, or hire a voiceover artist. I'm just trying to illustrate to you the point. I like to do all my own videos personally, because if I end up talking to them on the phone, they recognize my voice, so that's really helpful. So whenever possible, I would recommend, if you're good at talking and you can script it or whatever, you should try and do it yourself. So I record the videos just using PowerPoint, and then I flip through the presentation and I just talk over the presentation, and I record it with Camtasia. If you don't have Camtasia, another good alternative is screencast-o-matic.com, and this tool is actually free. Okay, so you can come in here, upload your video to YouTube, and replace the video. This is built through ClickFunnels, so the cool part is you just copy and paste my link into your ClickFunnels account. You can sign up for a free account to try it out. I'll have a link for that as well. Actually, I think just by copying my share link, you should be able to sign up for a free account. But anyways, it'll basically import my funnel into your account without you having to redesign it or anything, which is kind of nice. So there's just a couple of things you'll have to tweak. Number one is you can come in here and tie it into your autoresponder by clicking the email tab. Right now it's set up just to go right inside of ClickFunnels, and then you can export the lead, so you can do it that way. So you'll need to do that if you want to tie in an autoresponder. Otherwise, just leave it set up the way it is. If you want to put in your own testimonial here, you can put in a testimonial. If you have someone you've worked with before, or a family member you've worked with before, you can swap that out here. You put in your own Facebook, Twitter, and Google, and then the YouTube link right here. You just paste in your own YouTube URL when you do the voiceover, and then replace your company name up here. It's real simple, drag and drop. You just literally type it in, and your phone number, and down here too. So really not much stuff for you to change there, but I hope that this will help get you off on the right start, and just kind of simplify some of the steps for you, and get some ideas flowing for you on how to get clients. So anyways, hope this helps. I'll provide you the PowerPoint as well, so you can record your own video, and along with a link to import this funnel into your account. Alright guys, so I've decided to do a video on Facebook for you because it's been really requested, and to be honest, I'm not really looking forward to it, because I'm going to have to spend a ton of time editing and blurring stuff out so that you guys don't see my campaigns, certain campaigns. Just for competition's sake, I'm not going to reveal them. But I'm going to shoot this video and just kind of show you some things and show you how to get started with Facebook. You can use this, number one, to generate leads for yourself. Drive people into your funnel, your marketing analysis funnel, your call tracking funnel, whatever one you want to do. So I'll show you kind of how we go about targeting and stuff like that. Number two, I'm going to show you how you can use this to drive leads while you wait for your listing to rank. Or if you're running a lead gen business like pay-per-lead, you can use Facebook ads to do that. And I figured out a pretty good way to do that. So I'll teach you that in here as well, even though it's outside the scope of this course. I'll just do it as a little extra bonus for you. All right, so that being said, I've got my Facebook account banned before. So what I recommend you do is sign up for a Facebook for Business account instead. It's just business.facebook.com. And then you should be okay and not get your account banned. I got my account banned for a stupid reason, because I was promoting one of my softwares, actually, and they didn't like that it talked about making money with the software, so they banned my account. That was totally unrelated to local marketing. But anyways, business for Facebook, sign up for a Business Manager account. If you ever lose an account, just go and start a DBA, doing business as, and open up a new bank account and start up a new account. It's pretty easy. So there's one little tip that should help you out. But let's jump into things. So this is the Business for Facebook dashboard, and it's going to give you kind of an overview of all your accounts in here and all of your pages as well. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a page to advertise to. Almost always are just doing newsfeed ads, and normally I'm not even targeting mobile devices, because if you look at most of the funnels that we're sending people to, I'm trying to get them into filling out a form that's kind of long. Usually I'm asking for more information than just a name and email, because I want to talk to them on the phone usually. So I don't suspect that they'll do that on a mobile device, so I just don't target mobile. So if you come over here to add new, you can add a new page to your account. So I recommend you create a new page. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I've done with pages, but there's kind of two trains of thought that you can go about this. Number one is you can target a specific niche and you can call it something like plumbers only or plumber mastermind or professional plumber group, something like that, and you can make it kind of like a community. That's one train of thought. I've done it that way before. The other way, and this works especially good if you're gonna do pay per lead stuff for your clients, is to create a page and disguise it as a regular account. So what I mean by that is create it like a celebrity type page, and go to like fake name generator, generate a fake name, and use like a pen name and create the page under a regular person's name. So instead of it looking like a page, it kind of looks like a Facebook profile when the advertising shows up in the newsfeed. I'll show you an example of one. And then you're going to need an image for that profile. So, grab a stock photo or something. You want it to look as natural as possible. So I mean, something like this, if we were to crop out the computer, would probably look natural enough to where it doesn't look like a stock photo. It has to look like a real Facebook photo or profile. So you want to spend some time searching through. That one too we could probably crop to make it not look as much like a stock photo. All right, so this is an example of an ad that we were doing for a lead generation campaign for one of the heating companies that we work for. And you can see the profile is disguised as a regular thing. Like this is what pops up in their newsfeed, and this is actually an ad, but it doesn't appear to be an ad. So this is the copy I used. To my friends, now that it's starting to get colder out, it's really important that you have your furnace inspected for this one simple reason. You could have a small crack in your heat exchanger which can introduce carbon monoxide into your home. This obviously prevents many dangers, and chances are good you're already running your furnace. So it's really important you have your furnace properly tuned up and inspected so that you and your family can be safe. These inspections can be done for under $65, so don't put it off. And then I put a link here for the promo page. Share this post with your loved ones. So straightforward. Maybe I'll leave a link for a template if you want to try this out, a template for the kind of deal that I ran. Of course, you're gonna have to modify it for what niche you're in. I mean, I encourage you not to copy my exact copy and stuff like that. But I hope that you get ideas out of this. First off is I said to my friends because I'm trying to make people think that this isn't an ad. I also structured it as a long ad rather than just a couple lines of copy. And if you notice, I did a lot of things that weren't grammatically correct. I did this ... a lot. I did multiple exclamation points. I said things like $65, which really isn't, how you would do it if you were going to run a real ad. I said share this post with your loved ones. So I did multiple things like that. And what I did was I used kind of a fear tactic, I guess, about carbon monoxide, and I used that to push them into getting a furnace tune-up. So this ad did really well for us, and it's something that I'm going to try in other niches as well, obviously just changing things around and coming up with a new hook. But I hope that this gives you ideas, because this is the kind of stuff that works, and this is what's going to separate those of you who are successful with this stuff from those of you who aren't. Those of you who aren't are gonna look at this and you're gonna not come up with anything original, nothing creative, and you're just gonna, I hate to say it, you're gonna fail hard. And then some of you guys are gonna look at this and a light bulb's gonna go off and you're gonna be like, okay, I get exactly what he's doing here. I can see exactly the kind of thing he's following, and now I'm gonna come up with my own hook on this. I'm not gonna copy, but I'm gonna come up with my own hook. And you guys are going to be the ones that kill it. So I hope that everyone will take my advice on that. Unfortunately, I just know it's not going to be the case. Some of you guys are not going to get creative, and you're not going to see the results that some other people are. So anyways, just a little rant, but I hope that gives you some ideas there. So let's talk about targeting. For targeting, you can use this tool called Audience Insights. It's right in your tool section of Facebook. So we're going to do everyone on Facebook. And the way you want to do this is you want to target things that people who you want to target would look up to. Like if I was targeting internet marketing, I would probably, and I'm using internet marketing as an example because we're all in internet marketing if you're in this course. I would target things that internet marketers know of or look up to or belong to. So I would probably try and target sites like ClickBank or like JVZoo. I would probably try and target people that they look up to like Frank Kern or like Ryan Dice, right? So I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. It's the same thing with whatever else you're targeting. If you're targeting dentists, if you're targeting plumbers, there's certain associations they belong to. There's certain publications they read, like in the medical field, they read journals and stuff like that. So you really need to get to know and understand your niche before you can actually dive into this tool. So let's go into Google and start understanding a niche just to kind of see how we go about it. So I'm going to start off by typing in dentist journals. Okay, because dentists read certain journals to continue their education. So I see here the Journal of American Dental Association. I'm going to go and try to find that. Now, chances are good that I probably won't be able to find 80% of these. So if you start to go through the list of things that you find and you can only come up with, a couple ideas, that's okay. It's normal. So let's go and do that. Journal of the American Dental, and then it should eventually pop up. So there it is, Journal of the American Dental Association. Great. So from this point, we might have enough of an audience, probably not, only 4K, but we might have enough of an audience to start pulling similar interests. So if you come over to this page like section, once you have enough data in here, Facebook will start to populate this with the top pages that dentists usually like, who also like Journal of American Dental Association and other categories and stuff. So it starts to get a bit easier. So let's keep looking. Journal of Dentistry, we can try that one. Okay, nothing there. Journal of Dental Research. Okay, nothing there as well. So I'm going to switch and I'm going to start looking up associations. So I'm going to type in dental associations and look up what associations, and I would spend more time looking through each category that I'm looking at. Like I would go through a couple pages before I moved on, but for the sake of time for this video, I'm not going to. All right, American Dental Association, let's try that one. All right, there we go. So now we started to get a nice audience and it started populating. So you can sort this by affinity, and that's going to, the higher the affinity, the better. That means it's more closely related. So here's dent reps. We could click on that and see what that's about. Okay, it's a site to hire staff, for dentists to hire staff. So that sounds pretty related. So I might try to type that in. Oral Health America, RDH Magazine. I would go through and inspect all of these pages. Dimensions of dental hygiene. And I could gather a pretty nice sized audience by doing this. Okay, dent reps didn't pop up. Maybe if I type in dentreps.com, because it's a website. Okay, nothing there either. Oral Health America, there we go. So I would keep going with this, right? And then eventually what I would do is I would come back to the demographics and I would start to hone in on my demographics and find out who are the people I really want to target. So surprisingly, it's 83% women, and the majority of the audience is between 25 and 65. And if I really wanted to hone in, I could even just target this gap, maybe even 25 to 44, or maybe even 25 to 54. And then I could really hone in on things. So I could come over here and do 25 to 65, and I could just target women. So now I've got a really kind of honed in targeted audience, and I can save this, and then I can go and start running my ad. So once I'm ready to actually go and create the ad, I can do it from right here by hitting this green button. This is just the easiest way. And I can click send people to my website, or I can boost my post. Now, when you boost a post, you're paying for engagement. So you're paying for people who like your post, who share it, who comment on it. And sometimes that can come out better in the long run. If you're just starting off, it's probably going to be easiest just to send people straight to your website. So punch in your website URL there. I just punched in a random one of mine and then hit continue. So that would be specifically to your landing page or to your funnel or to whatever you're trying to promote. Okay, so right here where it says custom audiences, this is where you would click this and you would start typing in whatever you saved your audience insights as, and it'll automatically populate this field with everything you researched. And then you'd come down here and select your daily budget. Now, a little tip that I like to do on this daily budget is I like to crank it up to like $50 a day because it passes Facebook's approval quicker. And then after that, I bring it down to $5 a day to see how it performs. So I normally leave this all set up just as the way it is. Run my ad continuously, link clicks to website, get more link clicks at the best price. I just leave everything as standard. And then I come down here and I start creating my ad. Now when it comes to ads, images are everything on it. So you really want to think long and hard about something that's going to grab the attention. You have to be careful of showing like specific body parts. Like with the dentist industry, I've a lot of times showed a picture of someone smiling, which works really, really well, but sometimes it won't pass approval depending on how close up it is, because I guess Facebook has a lot of problems with people like putting pictures of people with abs in it to promote like a weight loss product or something like that. So you want to be careful about that stuff. Otherwise, remove the mobile newsfeed, remove desktop right column, and just leave desktop newsfeed ad in. And mostly that's because if you're gonna, depending on what kind of ad you're running, you might want to hide this and have it show up in the newsfeed so it appears that it's coming from one of their friends, right? We talked about creating a page as a generic person. And then you would add in the text, and this is where you start adding in your ad copy. So depending on what you're doing, what kind of funnel you're sending them to, that'll determine your ad copy here. I really don't think I need to get into that much. I mean, I showed you the example of the lead gen ad, so I think you kind of get the general feel of how everything should look. From that point, you just place your order in. That's pretty much it. So there you go. Get creative with it. I wouldn't recommend starting at this point if you're just a beginner. I would recommend doing some work for free for a client, honestly, and asking for referrals, because that's the easiest way to get a client. If you watch the interviews that I did with the most successful students, or some of the most successful students from 1.0, the common trend is that they started off doing something for free and then the referrals poured in. They asked for referrals. So they got paid after they got results. And that's the easiest way to get a client. Once you do that and you start getting some money flowing in, then you can start reinvesting in stuff like this and start testing, because this takes practice, and you'll waste some money on this before you get it right. So anyways, I hope that this helped. All right, guys, I'm going to reveal to you a direct mail strategy that works really well. And the first thing I'm going to say about direct mail is, number one, you need to keep yourself very organized. You can do a campaign by yourself, fairly cheap and cost effective. You want to keep a spreadsheet handy with everything organized, who you've reached out to. And the reason why is because if you're sending out a piece of direct mail, you need to be constantly following up. Most of the time, I would say 80% of the time, in order to get a response, you have to reach out multiple times, okay? It's not like you can just send this out and boom, magic happens and they buy from you. It takes multiple contacts in order to get them to buy. So you might mail out and then you might follow up with a few emails before you actually get their attention, or at least pester them enough to think about, buying, I guess is what I'm saying. So this should get their attention, what I'm about to show you. So this is a standard type of envelope that we like to use. It's the greeting card size, and the reason why we use this, and I prefer to use colors, is because it stands out from the rest of the mail that comes in. One of the strategies I like to use is at the bottom I like to say photo enclosed, do not bend. And of course I'll pop this up on the screen here. We're gonna follow that with an actual piece of photo paper, so you'll want to go out and get that as well. So the way the envelope is structured, you're going to put the customer's name just real big in the middle of the envelope here, and if possible use the business owner's name. Go into manta.com and look them up. Go into the who is of their website, look it up that way, find it out, and mail them that way. The other thing is don't put your return address on the upper left hand corner. Instead, I put it on the back here. Okay, so that's what I do. Right on the envelope, right on the back of the envelope like that. And I don't use a company name. I use my personal name, and same reason why I use a personal name here. So this gets attention. They're going to open this up. The question is what are you going to put inside of it? Okay, so let's talk about that. So you need to find something wrong, something that you can get your foot in the door with. So you can do that with an unclaimed listing. You can do it with a website that's not mobile friendly. You can do it with a bad reputation. You can do it with them not being ranked for the keyword. So there's multiple ways. I'll just run through them. I recommend Jing. Jing is a software that you'll use to take screenshots, and it's really helpful to help you put together your piece of photo paper. So let's go through this. So let's say I was targeting a dentist and they weren't ranking for Dentist Wauwatosa. I would point out that they weren't here. Maybe my client's not in a 3-pack. So what I would do is I would take Jing, and this is how Jing works. You see the little yellow crosshairs on my screen? I just select the part I want to take a screenshot of. So it's probably a little bit too big. Let's do that over. So probably do something like this. And then we'd point like an arrow. So you grab this little arrow tool. That's what I like about Jing. Point it there. Put in a little text box and say, you're not showing up on the first page. Dental Arts Associates is taking all of your business. All right, perfect. I normally like to even go a little bit further and actually check out the keyword tool to find out how many monthly searches Dentist Wauwatosa gets, and sometimes I'll even include that in there as well. So then I'll print this little thing out on a postcard, and then I put it into my envelope along with a letter. Now for the letter, I like to write it on yellow paper with a red pen. So yellow legal pad paper. I don't have the legal paper in front of me. It's in my other office, but yellow legal pad paper with a red pen, red ink works good. And keep the letter as short to the point as possible. People don't like to read for very long, and handwritten is the best. So if you're going to do this campaign yourself, just get some people to handwrite it for you, hire them off of Craigslist, have your kids do it, find a college student who needs extra money, or just do it yourself. And write them out, and then keep all of your leads in a spreadsheet so that you can keep track of the campaign. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to find websites that aren't mobile friendly. Mobile Lead Scout is a tool I developed. I'll leave a link below if you want to pick it up and try it out. I developed this tool. I'll leave a coupon code too so that you can pick it up cheaper, because normally it's pretty expensive. But since you're already a member of Maps Mentor, I'll leave a coupon code too. But anyways, you type in your keyword and your location, and it'll pull open the sites that aren't mobile friendly for you. So like this site right here, expresstowingwis.com. So what I like to do is I like to gather a nice list of leads here like that, and then I'll go to this Google Mobile Friendly Test tool and I'll type it in. expresstowingwis.com. I'll hit analyze, and okay, this one didn't load. But what'll happen is it'll pull up a report showing that it is or isn't mobile friendly. I'll put in a different one so you can see what it looks like. This site actually is mobile friendly though, but you'll see what I'm saying. So it'll analyze it right there. See, it'll show the page is mobile friendly. So when it's not mobile friendly, it'll say that it isn't. And if you can attach this right from Google's website showing that it's not mobile friendly, then print that off as a photo. So that's the other route. And then of course the other route is to use Maps Prospector. If you don't have that, I'll leave a link below as well to pick Maps Prospector out if you want to go that route. And basically it shows you the pages that aren't verified. So these pages are created. If you go to them, you know, the page actually exists, but they're not verified. So these guys, no one knows whether they're in business or not. Google doesn't know if they're still in business or not. So it's important they get their page claimed, and you can use, you know, take a screenshot of, is this your business manager's page, and offer to verify it for them. So the point of this is you're not selling the maps ranking right off the bat. Like I've been saying throughout this entire thing, is you need a funnel. You got to funnel people in usually, unless you're getting referrals. If you're going to go that strategy and do a listing for free and get referrals, that works too. But typically you need a funnel. You're not going to be able to just demand high prices right away. You got to funnel them in with a low ticket tripwire. And this strategy is a good way to do it. You can use the reputation management strategy to take a picture of one of their bad reviews. You know, go look at their listing. Here's a bad review. Look at this. Imagine if I printed that off on a picture and stuck it in here and sent it to them. Okay. So yeah, there you go. Direct mail strategy works really well. Take action on it. All right, guys. One of the best ways to get your foot in the door is to sell a website design first. Okay. People are always looking for websites. New businesses start up every day, and they think they want a website, but they don't think about SEO. They don't think about lead gen. They think that if they build this website, people are magically going to come to it. So if you can secure the website design first, which should be pretty easy since you can just use one of the WordPress themes I've provided to you in the WordPress module. You can check those out and see the options available to you, like Local Theme Club, for example, would be a great one because, you know, several themes are released in different niches. Otherwise, you can use one of the other themes too, or any other theme you want for that matter. But you can design a website for them, and then you can upsell them the Google Maps thing later on after you've sold the website design. So I'm going to show you a ninja trick for getting these website design jobs using Craigslist and getting notified of whenever someone wants this. So rather than going and doing cold prospecting, we're going to let the leads kind of come to us. So this is pretty cool. So what you want to do is you want to go to this service called If This Then That. And what you're going to do is you're going to come in the search box and type in Craigslist. And you want to do this one. Get notified of new Craigslist posts. So here's what you want to do. It says right here, copy and paste a Craigslist search result URL here. So we're going to go and we're going to go to Craigslist. So go to the Craigslist for whatever city you want to target. I'm going to target my hometown in Milwaukee. And I like to go under this gigs, and computer gig is good. Sometimes it'll be under there. And then I also like to do creative because sometimes people post web design stuff under here. But basically what you do is go under either one of these, type in the word website. You can try different searches like website design, all kinds of different things. And what you want to do is you want to grab the URL up here. So copy that URL and then go back into here, paste it in, and hit the add button. And what that's going to do is every time a new person posts looking for a website on Craigslist, you get a little notification via email that looks like this. Check this out. This is just 19 hours ago. Hello, I need a website designer that can help me out with my salon website. And also must be able to accept credit cards for payment. Kindly reply my post ASAP if interested. Okay, so really, really cool stuff. It's just a way to allow prospects to come to you. Go and do this for a bunch of different cities. You know, it's just an awesome tip. And then remember, you got to have a funnel built in for yourself. And this is a good funnel. Website, then upsell to maps ranking, okay? So there you have it. Alright guys, Paul James here again, and in this video I wanted to show you a cool way to illustrate to your client exactly how powerful what you do is and help you determine what your value is that you're providing them with. So let's go ahead and do that. So I like to just pull out my spreadsheet here with all of my research, and I like to use this to point out to the client, if this is what I'm targeting and what we're going to try and rank them for, then I like to show them exactly what they're looking at. So the first thing I like to do is I like to insert a function here and total the monthly search. So I use the sum function, and we just total up. I mean, you can do it manually too, but this is going to give you your monthly total monthly search for these keywords. All right, and then in this column, I like to figure out what the average cost per click is, and in our case, cost per lead should be worth way more, but this will still give us an average. Okay, so let's go and let's total this up. We'll do insert function. Actually, I'm gonna take this whole row first, and I'm gonna format the cells so that it's currency. All right, now we can insert the function sum, and it'll total the currency of these rows. All right, $88. So we have 10 rows, right? Minus the top one. So $88.01 divided by 10. So we've got an average cost per click of $8.80. So we'll call that average cost per click. So that's the average cost per click. Now, if they were to go and go to Google and actually pay for all of this traffic, $16.50 times $8.80, right? Let's do that. $16.50 times $8.80. They would be paying $14,520 a month if they were to capture all that traffic, right? So realistically, we're not going to capture all of that traffic. We already know that. That's just the total monthly search. But this will help give them a really good illustration. The data is all there provided by Google. So when you demand $997 a month, or even $500 a month is even good, this is going to really reflect that your value is way, way, way worth it, okay? So I just thought that that was a great illustration, and it's something that we use as a sales tool to point out the value of our service to our clients, and I think it's something that is helpful for you to know and something that you'll be able to use as well. Hey guys, Paul James here, and in this video we're going to talk about using a marketing analysis to get your foot in the door. So the marketing analysis hook goes like this. You get them into this page somehow, some way. It doesn't really matter how you do it. You can do it with ads, Facebook. You can do it with connecting with people on LinkedIn. You can do it by passing out business cards. Is a great way to do it. Pass out business cards that say claim your free marketing analysis with a link to go to this page. And I'm going to give you a link to this page below so that you can clone it into your ClickFunnels account and set it up easily enough. And I'll also give you the PowerPoint presentation so that you can record your own voiceover. Again, I highly encourage you to record your own voiceover over it because when you talk to them, they're going to recognize your voice, and it's going to help things out quite a bit. So the hook is that you're going to help them go through their marketing campaigns, find out where they're spending money, where they're wasting money, and in turn, you're going to save them a bunch of money. And the reason why you're doing it for free is because when you save them a bunch of money, they're going to want to hire you for a portion of that money that they saved to work on their marketing. So you're going to upsell them Google My Business. So let's talk about how this plays out. Follow up with everyone who fills out this form. So you're bringing inbound leads in, which is great. You've got inbound leads coming in. You follow up with them, and what I like to do is I like to run a keyword search and figure out the opportunity costs for them. And that's what I use to do the marketing analysis. I find out where they're spending money at, where I think it's a total waste. Most of the time when we hear like business owners are spending money on like yellowpages.com, this part comes pretty easily because they'll normally tell you. they'll normally say, you know, we're giving Yellow Pages $1,000 per month or $3,000 a month, and we're not getting any calls from it. So it's really quite an easy foot in the door. And if you use the determining your opportunity cost module or video that we did to help your efforts, you'll see it's really a great way to get your foot in the door. So anyways, you can import this right into your ClickFunnels account and try it out, and I hope that you enjoy it. All right, guys, so one thing that I like to add into my funnels a lot of times, especially if I'm doing stuff with like web design, there's my video trick that I showed you about using if this then that to generate web design leads. If you do that and you land a web design gig, I like to do this as an extra unannounced bonus for the person to help them, to convince them to hire me to do SEO on their website. And what I do is I rank a YouTube video, and the way I rank it is, well, you can go through the optimization of YouTube. It's the same way as we optimize the videos for the page, and then I use the crowd searching and social signals. So go watch that video as well, and that's it. That's the only things you need to do to rank the video. But you need to pick out a low-hanging fruit keyword. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. So what you do is you get one of these web design leads and you sell them a website or whatever, and as an unannounced bonus, you say, hey, by the way, I put you on the first page of Google for, you know, so-and-so, and you read off the keyword and show it to them. And then that gives you a time to present them with the value proposition, with the spreadsheet, the value proposition spreadsheet, on what they're missing out on by not being ranked on the first page for those other keywords. So that being said, let's talk about how to pick out a keyword that's going to be easy to rank with a video. And video keywords, you know, when you target low-hanging fruit and then you follow the optimization strategy and then also the crowd search and social signals, this thing should rank within like days. But what you want to do is you want to put into quotations your search phrase. So if you're working with a garage door repair company or something like that in Waukesha, you could start by putting that into quotations. Garage door repair Waukesha. All right, and what we're looking to do is we're trying to get this number here where it says 10 results to 0. We want this to be as little as possible. Now, what that means is it means that there's 10 people that have garage door repair Waukesha in this exact order on their site. They're optimized for this exact order. So people aren't going to search with quotation marks, but we use the quotation marks to pull the results for that exact order. So how would we get that result down to 0 to pick out a good keyword for a video? Well, the best way to do it would be to start adding on modifier keywords. And good modifier keywords are words like best, or you could put in the word in, garage door repair in Waukesha, and stuff like that. So we might try doing best garage door repair Waukesha. Okay, now we've got one result. That probably would be fine, but we could take it a step further. Best garage door repair company Waukesha. Right, now we're at 0 results. And then this would be the keyword we'd want to try and rank for. All right, so just a cool little strategy. From that point, I normally like to create a new YouTube account, and then I upload the video or whatever under a new YouTube account. So yeah, that's just a cool little way to add in a little bonus, and then you can tell your client or your prospect who's in your funnel, hey, go Google best garage door repair company Waukesha, and when they see their name pop up first, it adds a nice little bit of credibility for your skill as an SEO, and then it gives you a good time to present your value proposition spreadsheet with keywords picked out and exactly, you know, what they would be getting from your services. So hope that this is helpful, and definitely take action on it, put it to use.